GTR. Had to get away. Hold it at the lights. Tense moments and away they go. McDade gets a good start, but a better one also by Jonathan Hurry, who's in a hurry at the moment. Hurry on the left-hand side looks a far better man at the moment, and it looks as though McDade is going to be left in the dust tracks of Hurry as he comes over the line. The GTI-Rs have been putting in some great times all day. Jonathan's GTI-R is a great example of just what can be done with these little four-wheel drive rockets. The handling looks to be very well sorted as he blasts through the handling course. Suddenly there was a torrential downpour which saw a lot of the cars head to the paddock for a well-deserved break. All except for the Subarus. These agile cars refused to stop and really displayed their rally heritage by putting in some very quick times, even in the wet. In fact, some of these times were faster than the other cars managed in the dry. This is John Felstead with his STI 5 Type RA, which boasts a variable center differential to enable the handling characteristics to be fine-tuned to suit the conditions. The car is obviously being driven well and puts in another quick time. The rain soon stopped and once again the competitors had to wait for the track to dry. This time nobody was just waiting. There was a lot to do. The paddock was a hive of activity as drivers and mechanics worked on the cars trying to exact every ounce of power and speed. Today, a mechanic no longer needs just a toolbox, he needs his computer too. Possibly the most important tool of the day was the laptop. Laptops were in use all over the paddock, remapping the engines, trying to find the optimum settings for maximum speed. At the same time, it was wet, and while one eye was on the cars, the other was on the weather. If it didn't dry, then any improvements in qualifying for the afternoon's final would be impossible. Not all the cars here today expect their cars to win, but there is one guaranteed winner in a class all his own, literally. Here is Paul Hansen's unusual performance vehicle, built and maintained by its owner.
Ford Transit, F-Reg, 1986. Sarah Cosworth engine, turbo. Limited slip diff by Quaith, anti-torque biasing one. Totally modified engine, water injection, nitrous oxide injection. Nice tow. Last year it was 372 at £20 of boost. So, but I haven't run the gas yet because I've had a few minor mishaps this year, with turbos going and this, that and the other. The oil pump went, which was unfortunate, which did the shells, then it did the followers, and then it did the turbo eventually. It was just pure oil starvation and just a matter of time really before it blew up. So if it hadn't done the oil pump I wouldn't have had any problems at all this year, but that's what you do with modifying cars, isn't it?
Now let's see how well this van can handle. Paul's doing a good job. Straight line, it's very fast. As you can see, it's been lowered by a vast amount. Features uprated suspension and brakes, and he's using it to good effect at the moment. A nice smooth ride. Now let's see how he gets through this very tight left-hander. Well, remarkably, certainly not the slowest through there, and this is looking very good. It's like truck racing this, but it's a van, and he's going very well indeed. Excellent suspension and brakes, and it's proved to be an excellent handler through the handling course. Good stuff by Paul. Finishes off the course, and he certainly won't be the slowest through there. A great piece of work done by Paul there, and no, he did not come last.
Main thing is to get the engine running strong and then put the nitrous on maybe for next year when I've got a bit more time to play with it.
Meanwhile, the track was dry and battle commenced once again on the handling circuit. Class A and B had been pretty much decided by now, but Class C was anybody's. Gareth Lloyd's Cosworth put in a scorching time of 31.84 seconds. Full 560 brake horsepower, touring car spec with 7-speed works transmission. I mean, look at the way this car handles. Well, I said it's touring car spec, and so far it's looked every bit the winner. Gareth Lloyd looking superb through there. That'll take some beating, but there's a queue of Evos and Scoobies waiting to put that right. Jason Hulbert in the Evo 4, and he misses a gear there early on, but he's looked good all day, and look how determined he's looking there. The Evo 4, nicely through there. And we know this car can handle just how well can Jason Hulbert get it through the course. And again, that look of determination on his face there. Nicely through that section. A little bit tight towards the end there, back on the power. And again, the handling superb through that. A little bit bumpy in the last part of the section there. But again, Jason Hulbert really giving it some. Now, John Felsted in his Subaru. Away he goes through the gears, now into the twisty section, and he's got to get it right here. Nice and smooth through there. Down towards that left-hander, and oh, he's gone a little bit too hard into there. Yeah, he's understeered over there and taken the cone out with him, and that's not what he had planned, and that cone's gone under the car. Here's another look at it on board, and yeah, you can see him trying to hold the car, get it round, but it just wouldn't turn.
Oops.
Could anyone beat Gareth's time? Well, we'll have to wait and see. The dry track qualifying action began once again on the 500-metre strip. After setting a trailblazing time on the handling circuit, Gareth left the others to it and appeared on the drag strip to cause yet more mayhem. This Escort Cosworth was certainly fast around the twisties, but what about the straights? Dan Horsforth's Cosworth versus Gareth Lloyd's Cosworth. These have over 550 brake horsepower. Away they go, and a good start by Gareth Lloyd, but both those cars fly away there using all that 550 brake horsepower. But look, it's Gareth Lloyd who's flying away with it. He got the better start. Gareth's Escort was a missile. Not just a missile, but a guided missile that could tear down the straight with the monster Skylines and on the circuit leave the Evos in his mirrors. This Escort will really take some beating. So Steve Scott's rear-wheel drive Focus, WRC spec remember, versus Christian Doran's Toyota Supra. The Supra on the right-hand side. Both these cars with over 500 brake horsepower, and away they go off the line. Good start by the Supra, but also a good start by Steve Scott. But Scott's got problems. Well, has he missed a gear or something's gone wrong, because there goes the Supra flying ahead, and there was definitely a problem for the Focus. Andy Nichols in the MG Maestro Turbo versus Keith Taylor in the RS Turbo. The fastest road legal front wheel drive car in the country takes on one of the quickest RS Turbos. Now, can the Maestro get away cleanly? Yes, he does. Good start also by the RS, but the Maestro is a Maestro. Look at him go. Superb display by Andy Nichols to take victory. But you can see the RS is catching. It's going to be close, and in the end, sure enough, the Maestro takes it. Pet Rover's a bit special. Andy Nichols tells us just how special.
One of only 505 made from Tickford. Limited edition in 1989. Started off as a 1.8, a 2 litre 8-valve turbo, but I couldn't get enough power out of it, so I went to the 2 litre 16-valve Tomcat turbo, fuel injection. It used to run like 15-second quarters when I first started 8 years ago. It now runs about 350 horsepower, similar sort of torque, and it does low 12s, about 118 miles an hour terminal at quarter. I'm geared up for quarter, so I'm having to hang on in 4th gear, so it's hitting the rev limiter a bit, but it gives me quicker times than actually short shifting up to 5th. They'll just kill the power you see if I go up to 5th. As far as I know, it's the quickest road legal front wheel drive car in the country that I know of.
Another car that's a bit special, this Golf. It's got a 4-wheel drive transmission and a 2.2 litre 5-cylinder 20-valve quattro turbo engine to power it. Built and maintained by its owner Grant Parker, it also features nitrous oxide injection and makes an estimated 400 brake horsepower. Gareth then back on the strip in his missile loosely disguised as a Ford Escort. Gareth was leaving the rest of the cars for dirt, but what about Leon Green in his automatic Supra Turbo? No contest, you might say, except this is no ordinary Supra. Good start by Gareth, but what about that Supra? Really getting the power down now. This is going to be a close contest, but Gareth is pulling away now. That Escort again proving brilliant ahead of the Supra. Well, Gareth did win, but not by much considering Leon's Supra is geared for top speed. Leon tells us about his Supra.
Something in the region about 600 horsepower, something around there. Torque, I think it was about, last time we actually had it on the road, it was about 550 pound of torque. So that was last year. But we've changed the turbos on it now and done some work with the cams and the fuel system and just try to get a bit more out of it really. Been developing since only 4 weeks when I blew the turbos and obviously start working from there really, but it's pretty much the development car. So I work on a lot of guys' Supras and that and do work for them and I know what works and what don't work, so been there and tried it, tested it.
Leon's Supra went on to set a fantastic top speed of 185.2 miles per hour. This left him in third place in the top speed competition, only 2 miles per hour behind Simon Norris's Evo, which clocked a speed of 187.1 miles per hour. Unfortunately for him, Simon couldn't catch Rocket Ron's Skyline R33. Ron's speed of 196.6 miles per hour was there for all to see, but not to catch. Stunning. Back to the 500-metre competition. There was one car which had continued to make progress virtually unnoticed. It was Mark Agin's Subaru Impreza STI. Mark and his crew had continually chipped away, reset up and remapped his Subaru until he was putting in some fantastic times. His time of 13.45 seconds was just 4 minutes before the end of the qualifying for Class C semi-finals. If only they'd been just a bit quicker getting up to speed, then no doubt this Subaru made it to the finals. As it happens, Mark and his crew simply ran out of time. Hopefully he'll be back next year, and then who knows. Meanwhile, back on the handling track, the Class C title had yet to be decided. The battle between Gareth's Escort and the Evos had just been joined by another group of cars. Like a pack of sharks, the battle-scarred Skylines moved onto the handling circuit. What could these monsters do about the Escort and the Evos? Now this, of course, a very powerful and heavy car, really. It'll be interesting to see how it gets through the tight twists of this circuit. Hard on the brakes there through that left-hander. Trying to ease on the power, but it's so hard. It's such a powerful machine. Oh, and the perfect pirouette to finish it off. Simon Norris's Evo has been fully fixed, and now with a new rear differential, he's got a chance to throw it round the handling circuit. And he is doing just that. Look at that. Moving that wheel from left to right, trying to keep it all on the road. And he gets nicely through the left-hander there. Brilliant stuff by Simon. Now we go on board and we can see how much he's having to fight it. It looks a lot smoother from the outside, but I'll tell you what, Norris is working, but he's working well so far. This is going to be a fast time. Determined stuff by Simon Norris. No question about it. That Evo handling very well. Now a comparison for you. Michael's Skyline up against Kevin Atkins' Evo. The Skyline under power, very good indeed. But look at the Evo sticking to the track brilliantly there. Left and right, and it's starting to make ground now. Now this is where we'll really see the telling signs. Yes, through that left-hander very tight. The Evo's on the power early. The Skyline can't do that, otherwise he'll be in the cones. And that's the difference. The Evo sticks to the ground there brilliantly. And the Skyline now losing ground, but not firing on all cylinders, it has to be said. But definitely the Evo, the better handling car through the tight, twisty turns. So Simon Norris back on track. Oh, but no, already he's had problems.
Had a couple of diff problems. Diff's the weak link on the car anyway. Broke one, changed it. I expected to break it, and broke the second one, so that was game over, unfortunately. Been a bit tentative with it. Don't want to give it too much off the line. No, the car's excellent. It's got no reliability problems at all, apart from the rear diff. So if we can get that fixed, then it'll be ready to do a bit better next year. Yeah, we've got a bigger turbo kit going on it, so we should get more power, over 650, and then the Skylines are better watch out.
The Skylines need to watch out, or maybe someone should tell that to Rocket Ronnie, who's joined the party now on the handling circuit. He's obviously decided that he's going to go for it. A little bit of smoke coming out there, but really pushing it hard. Rocket Ronnie flying through the circuit at the moment. And you have to say the Skyline looking rather nimble here in the hands of Ronnie. Through the turns he goes. Now this is going to be a challenge. Doesn't get too far out of shape there, but finishes nicely. Gareth Lloyd then in his Cosworth on the handling circuit. But there's a problem there. He's not up to speed by any means. And that is a real problem there for Gareth Lloyd. He had a time of 31.84 and looks as though that could be beaten now by Ron. Ron in the Skyline, heads off the line. Very fast through the opening section, but it is, of course, on the twist that he's got to get it right. Not push too hard and just fettle as best he can the power that he's got under that bonnet. And he's doing a good job so far. Nicely through there, the left and right. The Skyline really being tugged from either side. But good stuff by Rocket Ronnie. He's going to finish this in style. A lot of smoke coming out the back, but it looks good, and a nice little pirouette to finish it off. Okay, it's now 3:30 p.m, end of qualifying. Let's take a look at the leaderboard and fastest times so far. Let's look at the final standings for the best handling car. First of all, the front-wheel drive Class A cars. Third place goes to Nigel Burroughs' Escort RS Turbo, 39.29 seconds. So Nigel Burroughs in the Escort RS Turbo, third place overall. Let's see how well he equips himself on the handling course. The Escort, very nimble machine. But you've got to be able to drive it. It's all very well having a good car. But so far, Nigel Burroughs doing an excellent job, just putting on the power at the right time. And through he goes, left and right. Nice and smooth, and that's the key. You don't want to overdrive it through this course. Second place, Keith Taylor's Escort ZVH Turbo at 37.90 seconds. Keith Taylor really pushing it hard into that one, but manages to hold it all together. Now from this front view, you get an idea how the suspension's working. Nice and smooth. Towards the end, and that's good enough for second place at 37.90 for Keith Taylor. First place, Ian Blundell's Ford RS Turbo at 37.76 seconds. Quick off the blocks, through the gearbox, and then hard on the brakes, just about here. There you see the little flash, he has a double click at it. Through that left-hander, and he's nice through there, back on the power. And the RS Turbo looking very quick indeed through there. Good stuff by Ian Blundell. And that would be the fastest time at 37.76 to take the title. Okay, it's finals time. This time, it's first across the line. No second chances here. First out on the track is the Group A semi-finals, except that this really has become the final. Keith Taylor's Escort ZVH Turbo and Sonny Calzar's Fiesta Z-Tech Turbo unfortunately had to retire. This left Paul Ripley's Fiesta RS Turbo against Andy Nichols' MG Maestro. Paul's Fiesta had previously managed a time of 14.86 for the 500 metres qualifying, and Andy's Maestro had put in 14.19 seconds. Last time out, the Maestro definitely quicker. Now, what can Paul's Fiesta do? Away they go from the line. The Fiesta on the left-hand side goes through the gears, misses slightly there, a little bit slow, but you can see the car dipping through the gears, and the Maestro's quicker again. It doesn't matter, it's a case of who dares win. The time won't matter, and the Maestro takes it quite easily.
I knew he was going to win, so I had to have a bit of luck to be able to do it. So, and it wasn't there. So, I'm not disappointed though. Very happy. So, it was a good race. And he just pulled away from me, so it's fair game.
Don't know what's going to happen until you get across the finish line. You never know, do you? You never know. You get him to this level, it's lottery, innit? Very chuffed, very good, yeah. Top 10 in the country, innit? To win it. Just to be here, you got to be quick. You know, you can't. Anyone just can't turn up. Just to get in the top 10 is an achievement, but to win it's even better, isn't it? So I can win the rear-wheel drive now. I mean two-wheel drive, sorry, should I say?
Now we return back to the handling course to see the winners of the rear-wheel drive class. Third was Nadine Geary in the Viper GTS, 36.19 seconds. Nadine's had a great afternoon so far. She's really been very smooth through this handling course. This, of course, a very powerful V8 Viper. And the key to this is not really about the car, it's more to do with the driver. How they take the corners, keeping the power, not putting too much on. And Nadine's doing a good job. You can hear the tyres screeching somewhat. She's really having to fight it, but she's very smooth through this section, which is the hardest part. There again, the tyres really being pushed to the limit. Just a little bit of oversteer going out of that one. Lost a little bit of time. Second place, Tarek Guri, the Viper RT10 at 35.43 seconds. So then Tarek Guri, similar Viper, obviously convertible this version. This left-hander has caught out a fair few people, but not this time. Nice and smooth through there. Trying to make sure he gets exactly the right line. Now, here's the best example of all. You can really see the speed compared to Nadine Geary then. Again, he had a similar pop-up, but he got out there quicker than Nadine. And first place went to Martin Bell's Fisher Fireblade Fury at 33.79 seconds. Martin Bell very quick through this course the first time out, and here he goes again, and it sticks to the ground like glue. No problems with grip here, and as I said, it's a very abrasive surface anyway. The handling of this car is absolutely superb, very nimble, nice and small. He's able to get through the tight turns ever so smoothly. Look at that. And put the speed down as quickly as he can. Well, now we get a graphic illustration of the difference between Martin Bell's Fisher Fireblade Fury, the fastest on this course, against second place Tarek Guri. And you can see Martin Bell very much up to speed very quickly.